Welcome back to the universe of power. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Please like, comment, and subscribe for all things within the Power universe. In today's video, I will break down who I believe could be working hand in hand with Ghost to make sure Tariq survives in the streets. I will also give how certain connections could have been made. One quick thing I would like to make aware to some of my newer viewers is that here on my channel what I tend to do occasionally is give my opinions on certain things that happen within the show, as well as giving my predictions with hypothetical situations based off of information we already know. Now, of course, nothing has been announced as far as Omari returning to the Power universe currently, but as I have said in the past, that doesn't mean that Omari and Stars haven't come to an agreement regardless of what Omari has said in interviews. For a character as big as Ghost to return to Power, I would think that Stars and the showrunner of Power would want to keep Ghost's return as secretive as possible until they continue to evolve both Tariq and Tommy's stories. We all saw how quick of a thinker Ghost was in the original Power series. I believe Ghost had multiple plans and backup plans for pulling off faking his own death. I think Ghost certainly had people in place to not only help him pull everything off, but he also had people in place to be his extra set of eyes in New York to keep a close lookout for Tariq. I believe that there are many characters within Power Book 2 that are assisting Ghost. Some are obvious while others may have gone under the radar. The first character that I think has gone under the radar is none other than Monet. Now, I have briefly touched on this topic in a previous video, but I never went into full detail about the possible connections that were made between Ghost and Monet. Now, sure, you can say that Monet never knew Ghost, or James for that matter, but someone like Ghost who has been in the streets since a teenager, who has made all types of connections, most definitely would have came across someone like Monet in the past. I believe either Ghost knew someone Monet was related to back in the day, or he actually knew Monet herself. In my opinion, I think it could be possible that Monet has been fooling everyone this entire time by pretending to not know who Ghost or James really is. You might be asking, why would she do this? Let me explain. It could be possible that Ghost could have saved Monet or someone in her family in the past, and Monet is just carrying out a favor for Ghost after all of these years in return by taking Tariq under her wing. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how this would have been set up by Ghost. Ghost could have contacted Monet before or after Tariq shot him, to have her keep a close eye on Tariq after he pulled this plan off to fake his death. It could be possible once Ghost told Monet that Tariq was attending Stansfield, Monet could have told Ghost that Zeke had a scholarship to go there. From there, Ghost could have used Simon Stern to not only get Tariq into Stansfield, but he also could have made sure that Simon Stern had Tariq tutoring Zeke, and which would allow Monet to keep her eyes on Tariq for Ghost. Ghost knew that once he was out of the picture, Tariq would turn to the streets, and who better to have keep an eye on Tariq than Monet. Now, of course, there have been many situations in Power Book 2 where Monet threatened to take out Tariq, but I believe those could have all been scare tactics by Monet. Someone as ruthless as Monet would have taken out Tariq the moment she got what she needed out of him. But instead she chose to continue to work with him. And I think her working with Ghost would explain this. That would also explain how someone as guarded as Monet would be able to open up with someone like Tariq, like she has done in Season 3 of Power Book 2. When it comes to Tommy, I don't think he actually knows Monet. But then again, we did see last season in the finale how Tommy and Tasha were able to play stupid in front of Tariq, so I wouldn't rule out a similar type of situation with Monet. I am well aware of Courtney Kemp saying that the Tejadas don't know James as Ghost, but that still doesn't rule out Monet knowing James St. Patrick from the past. What everyone is not realizing about Monet is that her last name is only Tejada due to her being married to Lorenzo. We don't know what her last name was before she was married. We also have yet to be introduced to anyone on her side of the family that is not a Tejada. Another person I believe that could possibly be working with Ghost would be attorney Tamika Washington. If we go back to Season 1 when Tasha needed an attorney for her case in the supposed death of Ghost, we saw attorney Tamika Washington ask Tasha if she actually killed Ghost. From there, Tasha fired Tamika. Directly after that scene, we saw Tamika tell Tariq that he needed to find an attorney for Tasha that doesn't need the truth to win. Which is how we were introduced to attorney Davis McLean. I think it's possible that Stephen Ott convinced Tamika to work with Tariq and Tasha with hopes that she could get a confession out of Tasha. I believe that the backup plan was to get attorney Davis McLean on Tasha's case because they knew that he was unethical and would have the best shot at getting the case thrown out. I believe Ghost would much rather Tasha going down for his supposed murder than Tariq, but he knew that without a confession from Tasha the charges would get dropped. Ghost also knew that the further Tasha's case went on, more would start to reveal that he wasn't actually dead. The way attorney Tamika Washington was trying to get Tasha to flip and give up who shot Ghost almost seemed like she already knew. And how would she know? Through either Stephen Ott or Ghost himself. Now some may say it's a reach, but in my opinion, ever since the supposed death of Ghost, attorney Tamika Washington has been far more invested in Tariq than she was prior in the original Power series. Now when it comes to the obvious people that are working with Ghost since he faked his death, like attorney Daniel Warren, RSJ, Stephen Ott, Simon Stern, and even Tommy's mother, I think that all the signs and clues have been there from the start. Whether it was the questionable note that attorney Daniel Warren gave to Tariq after he got locked up, or the information that RSJ seemingly already knows about Ghost, or how willing Simon Stern is to continue to still work with Tariq, I believe that every last one of these characters are way too invested with Tariq than they would be with anyone else outside of family. Each of these characters that I have named all have done or said some questionable things during their interactions with Tariq that would lead you to believe that they are being guided by someone. And I believe that someone is Ghost. And when it comes to Tommy's mother, Kate Egan, I believe that she has been in contact with Ghost, off and on since he faked his death, to continue to update him on how things are going with Tommy. Let's not forget how she said that her son will probably think that it's a hoax when she got the money Ghost left her. There was no need for her to say that, if Ghost was in fact really dead. I have thought that it could be possible that Ghost placed a tracking device in Tommy's car that he gave him in the final episode of the original Power series. And when it comes to Stephen Ott, he seems to have the most power within the political and legal system than anyone I have seen, and he definitely doesn't play everything by the book. I find it odd that we haven't seen him since the death of Ghost, and I think with all of his connections and power he most certainly could have been the main person that helped Ghost orchestrate everything after he faked his death. What you have to realize is that Ghost planned things out before he did them. As we saw in the original Power series, he looked at the pros and cons to most situations before he took action. Ghost had many ties and connections in the streets as well as the political world. If he did fake his death, which more and more seems like he did, I believe that he used every resource to his advantage to not only save himself, but also to save Tariq, even though he's not currently present in his life. Who else do you think is assisting Ghost with keeping tabs on Tariq after his death? With everything said, and after watching my previous series Ghost Town, everything leads to one question. Tune in to find out in my next video where I give my take on what the next Power spin-off series could be about, as well as the title. I definitely think you won't want to miss this next video. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for all things within the Power universe. See you all next time in the universe of Power.